gentlemen, welcome to the Lernerville Speedway here in Sarver, Pennsylvania, where tonight the GForce Racing League will compete in March Madness 2020 here from the Lernerville Speedway, all in support of the Steve King Foundation. My name is Steve Ovens here in the announcer's booth for you here tonight. Going to help you call all the action here tonight. Our executive producer, Brad Ovens, in the 3-9 production studios, getting ready to make everything look and sound as awesome as it does here this evening for you. We're happy that you've joined us here at Lernerville for a actually the very first time that this event has been competed here in the GForce Racing League. And we're going to kick it off here tonight. We've got 3 different components for you tonight. We're going to start it off with a 10-lap Amazon gift card is on the line, courtesy of our friends at Boosted. You can visit them online at www.boosted, boosted.club, boosted.club, sponsoring tonight's Trophy Dash with a $50 Amazon gift card. Now, we've got 5 drivers that are going to compete in tonight's Trophy Dash, and this is how it's going to work. We have taken all of the winners from the preliminary events leading up to tonight's March Madness 2020 finale, and those drivers are Brandon Schultz, Steven Goldner, Kyle Moonen, and then last night there was a little bit of some confusion in the final qualifier that was held here at Lernerville last night. And because of that, instead of picking one driver over the other, the league decided to put the guys in question with the scoring into the Trophy Dash. So David Fleck, Jesse Bandy, both ran up front in the qualifier last night. They will compete in tonight's Trophy Dash. So we're going to have 5 cars. They're going to go 10 laps here at the Lernerville Speedway. Of course, Lernerville Speedway, 0.4 of a mile here at Lernerville in Sarver, PA. So these drivers will get ready to go 4 miles here at Lernerville for our 10-lap Trophy Dash. Our race director, Cody Olson, going to get everybody lined up and in the appropriate order. Drivers going ahead and making their final adjustments here before we come out for tonight's Trophy Dash. And we have got a full night of excitement ahead for you. We're going to start it off with tonight's 10-lap Trophy Dash. Again, $50 Amazon gift card on the line. We'll then go to our last chance qualifier, and we will talk to some drivers in between that time before tonight's last chance qualifier, because these drivers will have a little bit of time to switch rooms here on the iRacing servers. So we will have a 25-lap last chance qualifier. We're going to take 12 out of there. And we're going to have upwards of 24, 25 cars that are going to take the green flag. And then later on tonight, the 50-lap March Madness Championship will take to the Lernerville Speedway. Cannot wait to bring you coverage of that here later on this evening. And then tomorrow, they're going to have a drawing for all sorts of great door prizes that we've got on the line here. We've got $50 Amazon gift cards, courtesy of our friends from Boosted. Again, you can visit them online at www.boosted.club. We also have 2 sprint wraps on the line from Epsilon Sprint Wraps. 1 iRacing wrap from PMD Wraps. Thank you very much to PMD. And 1 sprint wrap from Velocity Race Design. Velocity Race Design, Ross Carenta, one of our great racers here with the GForce Racing Leagues. Looks like we're just about ready to rock and roll here from Lernerville. And you get to check out the new logo here. The Ohsweken Outlaws Racing League transitioning to a new name, new brand. GForce Racing Leagues. I'm sure you've seen our ad here in the previous weeks about GForce TV. And here come the drivers for the Trophy Dash. Trophy Dash on the racetrack. The fellas getting the lineup from the race director, Cody Olson, and here's how they're going to line up. Starting on the front row in car number 193 is going to be Brandon Schultz out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, Vanderbilt Race Cars. Driver of the 193 into his outside aboard car number 30 is going to be Stephen Goldner out of St. Thomas, Ontario. The Stephen Goldner Racing number 30. Row 2 to the inside will be car number 72 of Kyle Moonen. Kyle Moonen aboard the 72. That driver out of Lima, Ohio, the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts ride to his outside. David Flick in car number 56 out of Livingston, Montana, the Ashwegan Speedway, NRAM Dynamics ride. And out back on the field, car number 157, driver out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts ride. That is Jesse Bandy. Green lights are on. The Trophy Dash is underway. Oh, down the back stretch they go. Teammates getting together on the back straightaway as Brandon Schultz takes the lead. Stephen Goldner right there behind him in car number 30 as they roll through turns 1 and 2. David Flick right there with him. David Flick had a very fast car last night here at Lernerville, and now look at him. Schultz down to the bottom. Stephen Goldner up to the top side. Battle for the lead into turn number 3. Yeah, how about turn number 1? Now they race down to turn number 3, and Schultz pulls out a big advantage there off the second turn. David Flick moves up into position number 2, and now here we go. Down the back straightaway they go. Schultz with the lead. David Flick right in his tire tracks as they bring it off turn 4. Schultz continues to lead. The last time that the GForce Racing League had a special event, it was Schultz coming out on top and the winner of the 2019-2020 King of the Wing. And right now Schultz leads them here at the line. 5 laps on the board and 5 to go. Halfway home that last time by. Brandon Schultz trying to take home the $50 Amazon gift card here in tonight's 10-lap Trophy Dash. Flick running in position number 2. That driver way out west out of Livingston, Montana. The Ashwegan Speedway NRAM Dynamics number 56. Goldner running in position number 3. He's dropped back a bit. Just caught the wall, and Kyle Moonen slips by for 3rd. But this is all about the glory out front. Brandon Schultz leads them here. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go for Brandon Schultz. So Schultz slings it down through turns 1 and 2, right down along the inside lane. He'll bring it through 3 and 4. White rags in the air. White flag presented by 3-9 Productions. And it's Brandon Schultz out of St. Paul, Minnesota, down the back straightaway for the final time. The driver of the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, Vanderbilt Race Cars. Your King of the Wing winner, now Trophy Dash winner in March Madness, Brandon Schultz wins. David Flick comes home in 2nd, Kyle Moonen 3rd, Stephen Goldner 4th, Jesse Bandy will round out your top 5. And that is the Trophy Dash for March Madness 2020. Oh, we will work on hearing from your top 3 finishers here in the Trophy Dash. And shortly after that, we're going to hear from our friend Christy from the Steve King Foundation. So stay tuned. We're going to pull in our top 3 finishers here out of the Trophy Dash here tonight, as we work on getting all those guys lined up here. And let's go ahead and we will start with our 3rd place finisher, as we're just getting everybody in the right order here. And 3rd place finisher in tonight's Trophy Dash was Kyle Moonen. And Kyle, what can we learn out of the Trophy Dash? I mean, if you don't pick up the win here tonight, there's still an opportunity to learn something for this big 50-lapper coming up later tonight. What did we learn here in this session?
It was nice to get some laps, move around a little bit. I was kind of expecting the top you know, at the beginning of the night to be a little more dominant here, but then we rain it down in practice, and so it was quite a bit faster there towards the bottom and the middle, and I don't know, I guess we'll have to see what the rest of the night holds.
One thing that we do know here early on is your teammate Brandon Schultz has got a very fast car. We've seen it right through the qualifiers for this event. He's gonna have a target on his back tonight.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the one to chase down for sure. You know, there's gonna be a couple other good guys. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Kind of curious to see how slick the track's gonna.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, great run here in the Trophy Dash. Tell us about some of the folks that helped make it happen there for the 72.
Pretty much just Rudine Racing. We picked that up here recently. Rudine SRC, Scotty. You know, the rest of the guys there. It's kind of a team effort, and got to thank all.
Good luck to you here the rest of the way, and top 3 here in the Trophy Dash. Not a bad way to start.
Appreciate it.
All right, there is Kyle Moonen going to get ready to make some adjustments here, and we'll work on talking to our second-place driver here, and that, of course, is Dave Flick. And, David, congratulations. A second-place run here in the Trophy Dash, and after, getting such a good run last night in the qualifier here at Lernerville, is there anything that you're going to be able to take away from here out of the Trophy Dash for later tonight?
Well, one thing for sure, you can't, there's no way to catch that Brandon Schultz, I don't think. He's pretty tough.
Yeah, he's been fast all week long here. How was your car, and is there any areas that you're looking at as trying to improve here for the championship later on?
Well, that all depends on what the track does. If I can stay up on top, I'll do that. But even in the Trophy Dash there, I just had to run the bottom because 3 and 4 was so sketchy you could hardly hang on. There's a good chance you'd go over there.
All right, man. Well, you know, a second-place run is a good way to start the night. Still got a long way to go later on, but how about some of the folks that help you make it happen there on the 56 car?
Well, the boys at UDSRA, they pretty much do most of the setups, and I've got my hover round set up in, so I should be pretty good. And that Stephen King Foundation deal, that's pretty cool to be racing, putting the money into that thing. And Roger for putting all this on, and you guys in the booth. It's a pretty good time.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you here the rest of the way.
Thanks.
There's Dave Flick driving the 56 machine. And now we'll bring in the winner of your Trophy Dash. We've been talking to him quite a bit here of late. Brandon Schultz drives the 193. And, Brandon, I'll ask you the same question I've asked the others. What can we take out of the Trophy Dash for championship later on?
Well, if it's anything like that, the race will be won on the bottom, because when I went out in practice, we were running around the top, and the car felt really fast, really good, and snugged her up just a bit, just on wing angle, but I knew I was going to have to slide Goldner right away, because my thought was the top was still going to be hooked up, and I did that, and the car broke loose as I slid him, and I was still rolling on the throttle, and it broke loose really hard, and unfortunately I got into Moonen, my teammate, which that was not the plan. I'm glad he held on for third. It sucks that it happened, but no, once we after that happened, we kind of went to the bottom, and Goldner gave us a look, and I think he got around us for a second, and he kind of left the door open, and we took it back. But yeah, bottom was really good. I wasn't expecting that.
You know, you have been so strong here in your qualifier, and then again here tonight in the Trophy Dash, but I know drivers are always trying to find a ways to improve. Is there any area in particular that you think you need to improve on before we get ready for the championship round?
Oh yeah, just consistency. We just need to be good out there. I mean, that's what this track's going to come down to. If it slickens off bad, it's just not going off the track, hitting your marks, and I think you do them too, and you keep her clean. I think you'll have a pretty good shot, because you got to be there at the end. So yeah, just be super consistent, and I think you'll be okay.
I'll tell you, the Radine Racing Sim Racing Concepts boys have got a lot of cars in the championship already, and we're going to watch this LCQ here and see who joins you guys. Good luck later on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There's Brandon Schultz. He's getting ready to go here. Coming up will be the championship round not too long from now. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready for the last chance qualifier round. And I believe, Brad, that's what we're seeing here on the racetrack right now, the last chance qualifier here from the Lernerville Speedway. And at last count, there was going to be 25 cars that were going to be starting this one. They will be getting their lineup from the race director, Cody Olson, over their radio systems. And right now, these drivers just putting a few laps down to get this racetrack burnt in, as they say. Get that track, dried out a bit, get it slick a little, and it's going to make for some interesting racing here in tonight's 25 lap last chance qualifier. But an important part that we need to get to tonight here while these guys are practicing and while they're working on getting lined up and such, we want to welcome in our good friend Christy from the Steve King Foundation. And Christy, it's so great to have you aboard here tonight to talk about all the great things that the foundation does. And we're so happy to be a part of this great event that will benefit the foundation. Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Tell us a little bit about the Steve King Foundation. I mean, this is, our event here tonight, March Madness. The proceeds will be shifting over to the Steve King Foundation. Tell us a little bit about that, how it got started, and the folks that you've been able to serve with the foundation.
Okay, well, the Steve King Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was established to help the dirt track racing community. The King family found during their time of tragedy that there wasn't any organization at that time to help, so they started the foundation, and we provide assistance to race car drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, and track operations personnel and their families, who have been injured, killed, or seriously ill in the dirt track racing community.
Thing that I thought was so cool about your guys' foundation is that, we see these types of foundations that do such great work, but you see it rather regionally. You see a foundation that maybe helps drivers in the Northeast or one state in particular. It doesn't seem that way with your guys' foundation. You guys have a pretty good reach around this country.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody involved in dirt track racing community that needs our help, we're happy to help them. Since the inception, we have been able to help more than 200 individuals and their families, and we definitely reach across the country. So far, we've been able to help people in 28 states and also in Australia and Canada.
That's fantastic. Now, along with, smaller events like ours here tonight, you guys put on some pretty big events that help, raise funds for the foundation. And, one of them is going to be a very popular event that people know about in August. But I believe you guys have one coming up here, or maybe it just took place at Devil's Bowl.
Yes, every year as a prelude to the Devil's Bowl, we have a golf tournament before the ASCS Winter Nationals. So that's always a fun event. We get the public, we get golfers, we get drivers, anybody that's interested in coming out just for a day of fun and fundraising.
Awesome. And then, of course, you guys have participation with the Knoxville Nationals as well in a rather unique way at the Nationals. Tell us about that.
Yes, we're going to be having our 4th annual cornhole tournament in Knoxville this year in August. And we give people the opportunity to bid on some of the drivers that we recruit to play in the cornhole tournament with us. So we raise funds through the bids, and then just the public is able to register, and just for a day of fun and competition. It's also just a great way for the drivers to be able to hang out with their fans. Awesome.
Now, there's definitely ways that our fans that are watching here tonight are able to participate and see the events that you guys have coming up. How can they do that? How can they follow the social channels?
Yeah, very active on Facebook, so you can definitely stay up to date on the events that we have going on, and also to see who we are helping in the racing community through our Facebook page, and then always on the SteveKingFoundation.org, and you can also donate at SteveKingFoundation.org. And other thing I wanted to put out there is that if you know of anyone that needs assistance, you can go to our website and fill out the form, and we're more than happy to help.
Awesome. And I know that the drivers that chose to participate in this event here, we were able to gather in more than $550 that'll be donated to help racing families heal. Really proud of that, and proud to have you with us tonight to tell us about this great foundation, and we appreciate your time. Is there anything else that we can cover for you guys?
Nope, that's it. We really appreciate you guys donating all your funds to the foundation, and I just want to say good luck, racers.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know you were traveling here today, so we appreciate all your efforts to be with us tonight. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thank you again.
All right, there's Christy from the Steve King Foundation. We're so happy to have her on board here tonight to tell you about what exactly this event that we're doing is going toward, and what a great opportunity to hear about that from her. You know, and not only just United States drivers, but also drivers in Australia, Canada that they have supported as well. Be sure to check them out. I know there's a lot of folks here that have got to be either fans of the Knoxville Nationals or attend yourself. Be sure to check them out at their annual cornhole tournament at the Knoxville Nationals coming up this August. That's the Steve King Foundation, and thank you again to Christy for joining us. All right, last chance qualifier. Final instructions being given over the radio by our race director, Cody Olson, as he's getting ready to get these drivers in their appropriate positions. And I'm sure hand out any final warnings here, as we're going to have several contested positions here. Only 12 drivers will move on to tonight's championship round. I'm just taking a listen in here to our race director as he talks about to these drivers about what we're expecting here. All right, so it looks like we're going to have just a couple seconds here before we get ready to go for the last chance qualifier. So while we do that, let's step aside. You heard us talk about the GForce Racing Leagues and GForce TV. Let's tell you a little bit more about GForce TV. Stay tuned. You're watching March Madness 2020 from Lernerville.
Introducing GForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForce TV Racing Leagues. GForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForce TV.
Welcome back here to Lernerville Speedway here in Sarver, Pennsylvania, where we are just about ready to fire off the last chance qualifier here for the March Madness 2020 Championship event. And drivers will start rolling. Just taking a listen in here. Looks like some drivers are getting themselves ready as the track is now closed for practice. So they're going to roll these sessions forward here. We're going to get the drivers out onto the racing surface. To tell you a little bit more about the March Madness format, the March Madness Championship here tonight was set by several different qualifying events. Qualifiers were held on Thursday night and Sunday night as well, which gave us 4 race winners that we put into the Trophy Dash. We did have an added starter to that Trophy Dash earlier tonight. There are 13 drivers that have already qualified for the championship here tonight. Brandon Schultz, Brennan Lacey, Donovan Ross, Stephen Goldner, Tanner Van Doren, Kyle Moonen, Jonathan Short, Jack Clevenger, David Flick, Jesse Bandy, Michael Redding, Trevor Grabeau, and Justin Stoles. All 13 of those drivers have already qualified for the championship round here tonight. Right now, getting ready to take part in the last chance qualifier. Instead of giving you the lineup, we'll wait until they get lined up here and we'll go row by row. I do know that there was a couple of drivers that were not able to participate in the last chance qualifier tonight. So Benjamin Newman and Bruce Hilton have already been added to the field. All right, so field will start to get assembled here. This is going to be exciting, folks. Track in this server is already slicked off. These drivers put a lot of laps on the racetrack as they had plenty of time to practice here while the Trophy Dash was going on. Oh, they have got no more than 90 seconds to get gridded up here as they will start to get direction here from Cody Olson. What we will do here is we're going to start bringing the field out onto the racetrack, and they will go through the normal procedure. Now, the challenge here for an event like this is there's already an established lineup. However, you can't just go into the iRacing server and say, here's the race I want to run, and here's exactly what the lineup is supposed to be. So these drivers are going to roll out here onto the racetrack, and we will take a couple of laps here to get the field assembled the way that we need it to. Then the race director will let them know the 1-to-go signal, and then when we come back around off turn 4, they will drop the hammer for 25 laps here at the 4/10 of a mile here in Sarver, PA. Boy, you couldn't shoehorn any more fans into here than you've already got. And we've got all of our live streaming fans watching from home as well. Williams Jr., Ross Carinta going to be taking part here. Keith Jackson, Jeffrey Barker are going to be participating here in the last chance qualifier. Matthew Ramsey, Kyle Sargent, Alex Hanna, Gary Denton, Terry Landis, just to name a few. And they are just about ready to run out of time here. We're going to start rolling onto the racetrack, and here they come. Corinta and those new colors, the Velocity race designs. Number 10. Field working their way out here onto the racetrack. And folks, this is going to be one of the better races that you're going to see. Again, this is the last chance to get into the March Madness 2020. Oh, you're going to see the field forming up here like they normally would here for a regular racing event. Pace truck's going to pull off. They're going to come around, and it's going to display that they're waving the green flag. But that's when we will get the field assembled the way they need to be assembled. One thing that they're being advised over the radio is do not stop on the racetrack. You do not want to draw a yellow here while we get everybody lined back up. Everybody will pass by here, and then they will spread out. Cars all the way down to the bottom, cars all the way to the outside. All right. Here they go. Here's how they're going to line up for tonight's last chance qualifier. Fast Lane Snook in the 123 and Matthew Ramsey are going to make up row number 1. Row number 2 is going to be the 71 of John Hine and the 24 of Jacob Zellner. Kyle Sargent, Joe Dowd are going to make up row number 3. Row number 4 is going to be the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick and the 51 of Jeffrey Barker. Next row back will be the 22 of Ernie Williams Jr. He'll actually display as the 91. And actually, Brad, I'm going to let these guys pace back around here. It was Fitzpatrick and the 51 of Barker. Now the next row behind them is going to be the 16 of Mike Schultz out of Naples, New York. He's going to start alongside the 36 of Barry Goldner out of St. Thomas, Ontario. Jackson, Preston Cranmer will make up the row behind them. Jackson down on the inside, the Premier Door Company, Rudine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, number 13. The Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Coast to Coast Racing, 07 is Preston Cranmer out of Aylett, Virginia. Your next row back will be the 111 of Gary Denton, the John Deere sponsored ride. Starting to the outside of him will be the 661 of Terry Landis. And then behind them will be the 192 of David Carnes and the 10 of Ross Corinta. Corinta out of Fisher, Minnesota. Boydell, Wyatt Vick will make up a row there as well. Steven Fernberg's in the 29. Bruce Hilton out of Stanley, New York in car number 10. Joe Backus in the 46 out of Crook, South Dakota. Then it's Benjamin Newman, Alex Hanna, Ernie Williams Jr. Williams starting out back on the field. And that'll be an exciting one to watch, Brad. 24 cars. All right. All right. Forming up to show you something a little special here. A little practice for later tonight. As the fields form up here. And we're getting ready to show you the most awesome thing you've seen in sprint car racing. To form up as we show you the 4 wide here from the Lernerville Speedway. few last words here from race director Cody Olson. And here they come off of turn number 4, the 4 wide. Here from the GForce Racing League, competing in the Steve King Foundation March Madness 2020. We will cut this field in half from 24 cars down to 12. 24 cars are ready to go 25 laps in distance. And here they go. They are going to get back double wide as they break out of the 4 wide salute. These guys did that with, look at them, man. And folks, keep in mind, this is with drivers that are not used to doing the 4 wide. It's not like we took a bunch of sprint car drivers off the track and put them out here on the iRacing server. They did a fantastic job. I did not see one car get upside down. Nobody got tangled up. All right, this field's going to pace at 35 miles an hour. Lane, fast lane snook, they call him, in the 123 is going to lead this field to the green flag. I believe they will get that next time by. All right, here we go. Getting ready to go with the last chance qualifier. 25 laps will be the distance. Lane Snook, Matthew Ramsey making up row number 1. Row 2 will be the 71 of John Hine, the 24 of Jacob Zellner. Here we go, 25 laps, the last chance qualifier is green. Green lights are on. Oh, baby, look at them, fanning out. 4 wide for a moment back in the pack. That's right around the transfer spot, and Preston Cramner's upside down. Oh, it didn't take long. Oh, it didn't take long. I had a feeling it wouldn't. There's a lot of drivers that were on the outside looking in this event, trying to make some moves early. And unfortunately, Preston Cramner draws the short straw here on the opening lap of the last chance qualifier. Watch them as they go into turn 3, and it looks like Cranmer might have gotten a little loose in the center of the corner. We're going to watch him again here. This is just after taking the green flag. Bruce Hilton caught the wall on the front straightaway. But watch him. Yeah, Cranmer was right in the middle of that 3 wide down the back straightaway. Oh, and Cranmer and Terry Landis got together. And it looked like they were just racing for the same piece of real estate there in 3 and 4. Now, mind you, this racetrack's slicker than what they've seen in hot laps earlier this evening. So a lot of things go working into that one. Cranmer continues to sit on the pit lane. He's going to be towed back there as the field works down the back straightaway here. And I believe we will look at looks like it might be a single file restart here. And Snook bringing him off of turn number 4 to put another lap on the board. We are now 3 laps into this one. Field stacks up single file down the back straightaway. At a nice even pace here through turns 3 and 4. Lane Snook brings them back to the restart zone. Green lights are back on. The last chance qualifiers underway. They're all the way down to the bottom lane as they work off of turn 2. There's a driver that was taking a peek at what was happening in the trophy dash earlier tonight. As those guys battle up front, Matthew Ramsey right now battling with the 71 of Hine as well as the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. Lane Snook takes the top side off turn 2. He'll lead him down the back straightaway. And we're going to keep an eye on this battle for the final transfer spot. Field brings it off at turn number 4, and right now I believe I show Gary Denton in that final transfer spot. The John Deere sponsored machine down the back straightaway as he battles with Ross Carinta in car number 10. Terry Landis just ahead of him, and there's Mike Schultz right there as well. 4-car battle. Only 2 of those guys are going to make it through. On the back straightaway they go. Denton has taken the top side. He's moved up to 10th as he'll take 9th position at the line. So move Denton up to 9th, Dowd back to 10th, Ross Carinta 11th. The battle's on for the final transfer spot. It's Mike Schultz and Terry Landis. Schultz into turn number 3, Dowd right along the bottom lane. Terry Landis uses the power on the outside. Schultz spun the tires off turn 4. Yellow lights are on. Second caution of the night, 10 laps into this one. Ten laps now make it 11 on the board. 14 to go. Snook has led from the drop of the green flag. Exactly sure what happened there. Brad Ovens, our executive producer in the 3-9 production studio, going to take a peek and see if we've got any replay we can show you to let you know what put us under this yellow flag. Here on lap number 12 now goes on the board. Boy, that battle was really heating up for that final transfer spot. Right now, Terry Landis has it. And Terry Landis, where'd Terry Landis go? He was our 12th place car. Landis is dropped somewhere. I don't know where Landis went to. Maybe lost connection. Oh, what a tough break. He was in the final transfer spot. Wow. Terry Landis drops the connection. We're going back green flag racing, this time off turn number 4. Green lights are back on. Mike Schultz right now in the final transfer spot. Snook takes it to the outside lane. Fast lane takes it down the back stretch as your race leader, but here comes Zellner down to the bottom. Zellner caught the mud down in the grass. Gathers it back in, and now Keith Jackson has moved up to the 3 spot. So here comes look at Jackson roll right through the middle. Lets it drift out to the top. We're watching the battle back there for the final transfer spot, but Keith Jackson is coming. Jackson's up to 2 as we've got 16 on the board and 9 to go. Keith Jackson, the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, Premier Door Company, number 13, brings it off at turn number 4. Jackson out of Bonne Terre, Missouri. Picked up the win in the Renegades division of the GForce Racing League this past season during Season 2. Started out the season with a pair of wins, which propelled him to the Season 2 championship. Now we'll watch that battle for the final transfer spot. That is for position number 12. Mike Schultz and Joe Dowd doing battle off turn number 4. Schultz, he's put it back on the cushion, and right now he's on the bubble. He would be your final transfer car as Dowd spins the tires on the bottom off turn 2. Schultz spins the tires halfway down the back straightaway, but the top side is where you can carry the momentum. Now Joe Dowd breaks loose as he goes down into turn 1. And Steven Fernberg will put it on the cushion. Meanwhile, Schultz is starting to close in on Jeff Fitzpatrick in the 90, try to gain himself an insurance spot. And yellow lights are on. Caution is out here with 4 to go. The lights are on, and it is for the 192 of David Carnes. No, excuse me. Keith Jackson has taken over the top spot here in the last chance qualifier. Pace truck catching up to the field. Just gonna double check on the format here for the last chance qualifier. I think this is gonna bring us to a green-white checkered finish, as we are on lap 23 as we speak. Now come down to 24, and they should have another lap or two pacing here. So it will be a green-white checkered finish. It will be up to 2 attempts made for a green-white checkered finish. If the first attempt at a green-white checkered cannot finish the race under the green flag, we will make a second attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If during that attempt the yellow flag flies before the checkered, the race will be official. All right, here we go. Keith Jackson, Lane Snook, first and second. Jacob Zellner, Matthew Ramsey, fourth. Gary Denton, fifth. Kyle Sargent, sixth. Then your final 6 transfers as they stand right now. Ernie Williams Jr., John Hine, Ross Carinta, Jeffrey Barker, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Mike Schultz. Keep an eye on that final transfer spot. Green lights are back on. Keith Jackson takes them to the green-white checkered finish. Works through turns 1 and 2, and they're wrecking. They're wrecking behind the transfer spot. Right now, Schultz looks to be good here, as he's got about 10 car lengths back to position number 13. White flag is out for Keith Jackson. Jackson leads him down the back straightaway for the final time. Here comes Fast Lane Snook down to the inside, but it's going to be Keith Jackson winning the last chance qualifier. Second across the line was Lane Snook. Jacob Zellner finished third. Gary Denton, fourth. Ernie Williams Jr., fifth. Matthew Ramsey, sixth. And then your final qualifiers. Ross Carinta, the 10. Kyle Sargent, the 91. Josh Hine, the 71. Jeffrey Barker, 51. Mike Schultz, 16. And by the hair on his chinny chin, Jeff Fitzpatrick beat out Joe Backus to the checkered flag stripe to take the 12th and final transfer spot. We will right now work on hearing from your top 3 finishers here in this last chance qualifier. Folks, stay tuned. You're watching live coverage of the March Madness 2020, benefiting the Steve King Foundation here from the Lernerville Speedway on GForce TV. Stay tuned.
Introducing GForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washouikan Speedway and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForce TV racing leagues. GForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForce TV.
Welcome back, race fans, here to the Lernerville Speedway here in Sarver, Pennsylvania, where we are getting ready to talk to your top 3 finishers here, and we're also going to talk to the driver that finished in that 12th and final transfer spot. And we're going to get a word with him quick here. That was Jeff Fitzpatrick, finished in position number 12, taking that final transfer spot. Jeff, that had to be some hairy moments there in those closing laps.
Yeah, she was getting a little slick out there. I just got a little nervous on that coming out of 4 and just spun the tires and just, it's like, well, I might as well just stay in until I hit the line. Just make sure I get at least 12.
Absolutely. Now, I think this racetrack for the championship is going to look fairly similar, and that was just 25 laps. We go extra distance here. This is going to be pretty special here for the championship.
Oh yeah, it's gonna just keep your car straight and smooth, and yeah, it's gonna get slicked off fairly quick with 25 cars on there, and that should be a pretty good show.
Well, congratulations to you, man. We wanted to get a quick word with you. I know that the Radine SRC guys have got to be stoked here to get so many cars in the championship. Good luck to all of you guys.
All right, thank you much. And the biggest thing is the foundation. You know, everything's going for a good cause, and the Stephen King Foundation. This is a really awesome event. I'd like to thank everybody who's involved that put this on.
Absolutely. Again, all of the proceeds here tonight, over $550 going to the Steve King Foundation. Now let's talk to your drivers that finished in the top 3 here in this last chance qualifier. Jacob Zellner going to be one of them out there in car number 24. Jacob, congratulations. You, sir, are in the big show tonight.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about what you were seeing with the racetrack and what anything that you think maybe you need to improve on for this championship. You know, we're going to go even a longer distance here, and I imagine the track is going to be just as, if not slicker, than what you just saw.
Yeah, for sure. I was being very conservative in that race, knowing that I started 4th and top 12 made it, so I decided to run the bottom of the racetrack, knowing full well that wasn't the fast part of the racetrack, but it kept me in a good transfer spot. For the upcoming race, I'll probably try and run the top more, maybe a little bit of the middle, but yeah, that's my game plan.
Get out here in this championship round, and you're going to have a decent starting spot about mid-pack. So survival and keeping that car straight going to be the key tonight, huh?
That is correct. Yeah, make the best of those restarts. That's really what I've been doing well throughout this whole series. I'm not necessarily far on the track, but taking advantage of the shots that I do have.
All right, man. Good luck to you in the championship. And, great job here in that last chance qualifier. That was an exciting race. Tell us about the folks that helped make it happen for the 24 machine.
Yeah, I can't thank enough my girlfriend for putting up with me. Everybody over there at Alienware. Just keep making sure I have good equipment, and yeah, that's about it.
Hey, man, good luck to you here coming up.
Thank you.
All right, there's Jacob Zellner in car number 24, getting ready to go for tonight's championship round. And a guy that, one driver that I think everybody's going to need to keep their eye on tonight in the championship. They call him Fast Lane Snook. Lane Snook joining us here in the announcer's booth for a quick word. Lane, congratulations, man. Solid effort in that last chance round.
Thank you. I wanted to be a little conservative because I put low fuel in, be easy on the gas because it was slick track. Didn't want to spin the tires and spin out and try to keep her going straight.
Was there enough out there with as slick as it was? Was there enough for you to learn, something to take with you here in the championship round?
I think so. I learned that I need to run a slick track a little bit better.
Yeah, don't we all, right? Don't we all? If we could all run a slick track, we'd be all set, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Won't be as many crashes and that stuff. I think that kind of killed me a little bit, trying to, with all the cautions there. That
All right,
always
man.
hurts me a bit.
Well, congratulations to you on a great effort. You've been putting in some really good runs here of late. It's nice to see you make the big show. And like I was just telling Jacob, you're probably going to start about mid-pack, so that's not a bad place to be. But survival going to be the key here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely not a bad starting spot for this kind of race, but I'm just glad to make it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, great job out there. Thanks for supporting our event here with the Steve King Foundation, and good luck to you in the championship.
Thank you.
Anybody you'd like to thank, Lane?
Universal Settlements, Keystone Alliance, Jack on Howard and Associates, Fox's Pizza Den, and just Fromberg Motorsports that helps me with myself, teaches me stuff, and just that's it pretty much.
All right, great stuff, man. Good luck to you here in the championship.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes, man. They call him Fast Lane Snook. He's getting ready to get her done here, and another driver that more than got his share of getting it done here in the last chance qualifier, Keith Jackson. I know the last chance qualifier is not how you want to get in the show, but you're in the show. You're going to have a solid starting spot here tonight.
Yeah, man, I had a good car that first night and just ran out of talent there pretty early in the race and drove it off the track, and then, went to the back, got caught up some other stuff, and then just had some unfortunate luck there the other 2 nights and kind of put us behind the gun. But we'll take, starting 13th, I believe, 14th, somewhere in there. Not too bad. We're set up pretty good for the track conditions, and hopefully we can pick our way up to the front here.
I know that you had some troubles in the qualifying night, but you showed the strength of you as a driver and the Rudine SRC team to come out here and put on the performance that you did. Is there anything that you learned, or do you gain a little confidence in your car going into this championship round now?
Absolutely, yeah. I know I turned a couple laps here today before that LCQ and made a couple little adjustments on my setup, which I thought my setup was pretty good for my slick conditions, and ran some laps and made a couple little fine adjustments there and was able to get it a little bit more how we like it. So definitely helped getting those extra laps in, and like I said, just hopefully we can keep it in one piece and work our way to the front here.
I see the drivers are there burning the track in here for the final round. I don't want to keep you too long, but great job here in the last chance qualifier. And if you want to, man, give all those great sponsors and team a plug.
Yeah, absolutely. All the guys at SRC, the Radines for hopping on board with us. We appreciate the hell out of that. And, you guys putting this thing on, giving us a great platform to race on week in and week out. You guys do a really good job, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later.
All right, man. Good luck to you. We'll look forward to that.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Keith Jackson, winner of tonight's last chance qualifier, and we are going to get all set here for tonight's championship round. Drivers are putting some laps on the racetrack. You can see them out there right now. And that's all by design. The way in order to put on these 3 different races that we're providing to you here tonight, the Trophy Dash, the Last Chance Qualifier, and now the Championship Round, the key to doing this and doing it well tonight was having these drivers' cooperation to come out and help us put some laps, kind of burn that track off just a little bit, and make sure that we've got an absolute dynamite racing surface for you here tonight for the championship session. And we're going to step aside real quick here when we come back. It's the championship round of March Madness 2020 here from the Lernerville Speedway. Stay tuned.
Introducing GForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForce TV racing leagues. GForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForce TV.
Welcome back, fans, to the Lernerville Speedway here in Sarver, Pennsylvania, where we are getting ready to line up, and we will get the racers out onto the racetrack to get them lined up for tonight's finale of the March Madness 2020 event here with the GForce Racing League. All of the proceeds from tonight's event going toward the Steve King Foundation. Over $550 going toward the Steve King Foundation, and if you missed it earlier, you're going to want to go back later on after the event tonight and watch the replay on the GForce TV YouTube channel. We got to speak with Christy from the Steve King Foundation, told us all about the foundation, what they do to help injured drivers, racers, officials, team members, not only here in the U.S., but Canada, Australia as well. She talked about some of the different events that they hold during the year. And tonight's March Madness 2020 event going to just a small part of that, but over $550 raised here by the GForce Racing League. And right now, drivers are lining up in the pit lane. And this practice session that they had before they got them lined up here, for some of the drivers, the top 13 drivers, that was the only laps they've had on the track tonight. So pretty interesting to see that. They will get ready to rock and roll here for 50 laps. We've got something special to show for you before we get to that 50 lapper. But right now, drivers gridding here on the pit lane. And I believe we're waiting on just a couple of cars here to grid up, and they do not have a lot of time to do so. Once the cars come out onto the racetrack, there will be several pace laps that these guys will run while we get everybody into order. These drivers will come out. They have to stay lined up for the first two pace laps in order for the iRacing server to throw the green flag. They have to get themselves realigned in the correct starting order. Then they will gather in for the four-wide salute to the fans. And then we will get ready to drop the green flag for tonight's feature event, feature 50 laps in distance. here from the Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, PA, getting a great shot from the 3.9 aerial media drone over top of turn number 1. Great look as this field works their way around the Lernerville Speedway. 0.4 of a mile here at Lernerville. You can see the track has already got that slick black line to it already. Here we go. iRacing server now giving the field that green flag. And they've got to keep pacing here. And now what you're going to see is the inside lane is going to go all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack. The top lane will work all the way to the outside lane, and then 2 by 2. Brandon Schultz, Brennan Lacey will make up row number 1. They will start to work their way toward the front of the field. Brandon Schultz got to work his way up toward the front of the field. Oh, Brandon Schultz out of St. Paul, Minnesota will make up the first row along with Ben Lacey. Donovan Ross, Stephen Golden are going to make up your second row here tonight. Tanner Van Doren, Kyle Moonen will make up your third row as you see them start to catch up to Jonathan Short. Jack Clevenger will make up your next row. David Flick, Jesse Bandy will make up your next row. Flick in the 56, Bandy in the 97, or the 157. Redding Grabeau will make up your next row. Redding, a newcomer here to the broadcast part of the GForce Racing League, Michael Redding. Trevor Grabeau. Lane Snook, Jacob Zellner will make up that next row. Actually, it's Justin Stolz, Keith Jackson, then Lane Snook, then the 24 of Zellner, who we just heard from. Ernie Williams, Gary Denton will make up that next row. Then it'll be Matthew Ramsey and the 10 of Ross Carinta. Austin Sargent, John Hine, the 91 and the 71. It'll be Jeffrey Barker, Mike Schultz, Jeff Fitzpatrick. That will round out the rest of your field as they're now all lined up there. Well, you've got a pair of Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts drivers on the front row to start this race tonight. Brandon Schultz and the 97 of Brennan Lacey. Donovan Ross, another driver out of the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts team, is going to start third. Stephen Goldner in the 30 machine will start fourth. Tanner Van Doren, the young phenom out of Walnut Port, Pennsylvania, the 2019 Stage 1 Modified champion at the Hamlin Speedway. He'll start in the top 5, and as they work their way off of turn number 4, they are going to start to split, and they will start to form up the 4-wide salute to the fans. Here they go. That's how they will do it. The top 6 rows fan out. The 6 rows from back through the field will start to form up and work their way up into the pack. They have now formed up the 4 wide salute. They got a couple of cars that we've still got to get in their rightful place. Next time, fans, we are going to show the 4 wide salute to the fans. And right now, we're going to show you the 4 wide salute to the fans. However, it is the missing man formation. As tonight, we pay tribute to the Steve King Foundation with donations of over $550 here, courtesy of the March Madness 2020 event, as they stack them up 4 wide in the missing man formation off turn number 4. They're going to hold this for us. We've got them packed and stacked here. And we're getting ready to bring them off of turn number 4. And if you're watching us from home, go ahead and give them an ovation here. Stand on up. Wave your hats. Wave your cold beer. Wave your fried dough, your hot dog, whatever you got. Here comes the GForce Racing Leagues in the 4 wide missing man formation here at Lernerville. Outstanding. Outstanding. What a great display here from the GForce Racing League. A couple of words here from Roger Craig, thanking all these drivers for coming out here tonight. Over $550 being donated to the Steve King Foundation through this March Madness 2020 event, and they will start to break formation as we are ready to go racing here. 50 laps is the distance for tonight's championship round. And they're going to bring them around this time off turn number 4 for the final 4 wide salute here. Getting ready to go racing here at the Lernerville Speedway. 4/10 of a mile, 50 laps is the distance for tonight's March Madness championship round. And they will start now. Outside rows and the inside row will take over as they bring it down the back straightaway. So here they come. Brennan Lacey, Brandon Schultz going to make up that front row. Those middle rows, that's your row 7, 8, 9, and on back. They'll start to fall back into line as we are ready to go racing here at Lernerville with the March Madness 2020 championship round. Folks, these drivers have got a full fuel load on. Don't forget about that. 50 laps is the distance tonight. Last night we were running about a 35, 40 lap race in the champion or the feature last night. We ran anywhere from about 15 to 16 gallons, had plenty to go the distance. Don't forget, this track is slick. It's slippery. They're going to be spinning the wheels. So you're going to be, potentially if they've geared them low, they're going to be able to save some gas that way. Of course, yellow flag laps do count in the 50 lapper here tonight. Here we go. Field is formed up, and it looks like we're ready to go racing. And they will get the white flag this time by. They'll get the green here the next time by. All right, here we go. Field is doubled up. Brandon Schultz, Brennan Lacey will make up row 1. Donovan Ross, Stephen Goldner, row 2. Tanner Van Doren, Kyle Moonen, row 3. Coming to the green flag, this time off of turn number 4. Green lights are on. March Madness 2020 is underway. Oh, look out. They're 3 and 4 wide off turn 2 already, as they race down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Brandon Schultz puts it on the outside lane. He'll lead lap number 1. Oh, contact back in the pack. Van Doren goes around. I think it was, was that Lacey or was that Bandy that went over the top side? Donovan Ross went over there as well. Oh, we've got them all crunched up here. Ross is able to pull it back onto the racetrack. I did not see what car it was that went over the edge and didn't come back over. Caution lights are out. We're going to take a look at the replay. Let's see what happened here. Ross in the 5 there, and boy, what a fortunate deal there for Ross in that he was on the side wing, got it back upright on all 4. Those guys made contact. That was Van Doren in the 5 of Ross. But what this replay is not going to show is there was contact, pretty heavy contact, into turn number 1 right off the drop of the green flag. That's what that replay's not going to show you. I don't know what happened there. Well, coming back to the green flag this time by off turn number 4. Back to green. Green lights are back on. Brandon Schultz going to lead him down into turns 1 and 2, bringing Brennan Lacey with him. Here comes the 56 of Dave Flick. Flick, who got a good solid run in tonight's Trophy Dash, takes it down to the bottom lane, trying to work down low, as he's got Lacey just ahead of him. The 30 of Stephen Goldner with the 72 of Kyle Moonen brings it off turn 2. Clevenger going after Stoles in the 23. And now they've got one car to the outside of them. That's Trevor Grabeau. Grabeau, the Rebels Series champion for Season 2 of the GForce Racing League. And then Schultz brings it down to the line. Put lap number 3 on the board. 3 laps in, 47 to go. No, that is not correct. 12 laps on the board. I apologize, I don't even think that's correct. Brandon Schultz leads, we know that's correct. He brings it off at turn number 4. PC Flick, right now your top 3. We're watching the battle behind these guys. That's Stephen Goldner, the 30. Trevor Grabeau, the 110. Here comes Jack Clevenger down to the inside. Clevenger aboard the 78. 23 of Stoles. He fell back a spot, as he now loses a spot to Keith Jackson. Right now, Goldner and Grabeau side by side. Now Goldner takes that spot into turn number 3. battling it out here in the March Madness 2020 Championship. Leaders are starting to come up on lap cars here. Keith Jackson continuing to work the outside lane, working on Trevor Grabeau. As now we take a peek at the leaders as Schultz works down the back straightaway, and you ride on board with him. Looking out that right rear tire as he still continues to work the outside lane early. He'll start to come up on Donovan Ross in the 5, the 72. Is Tanner Van Doren. They got involved in that incident there right off the drop of the green flag tonight, and Donovan Ross will be the first car to drop a lap down under green here to the leader. Jonathan Short 5 laps down to the field. We take a peek here, your leader brings it across the line. Goldner and Jackson now battling it out. That is a battle for position number 4. Goldner has it, Jackson wants it. Schultz, Lacey, Flick the top 3. Goldner and Jackson right now battling for 4. Just behind them, Trevor Grabeau, Kyle Moonen duking it out. That's for position number 6. You see everybody working that outside lane. Kyle Moonen about a car length and a half down off the top. It's such a risk versus reward working that outside lane. You get that right rear just over the brim and it is curtains for you. As now you take a peek at Lacey. Lacey getting a challenge here from Dave Flick, and now here comes Stephen Goldner. Goldner down to the bottom. 3 car battle for the 2 spot down the back straightaway. Oh, look out, Goldner and Flick made contact. Flick got sideways, Goldner gets sideways, and everybody behind him had to jam on the brakes. Keith Jackson now takes the spot away from Goldner as they enter turn 3, but Goldner with the momentum on the outside, he'll take the spot away and he brings Trevor Grabeau with him. So Grabeau with Goldner now in the top 5. Flick settles into position number 3. Brennan Lacey running in 2. Schultz continues to lead. Schultz now putting a lap on Matthew Ramsey in the 45. Your leader works into turns 1 and 2. The rest of the pack working their way off of turn number 4 and now into turn number 1. Distance between first and second right now, 3.7 seconds. We'll see what it is this time by. As Schultze's working traffic, he lost a tenth. Now it's down to 3.6 seconds. Still a very comfortable lead here for Brandon Schultz. And Lacey running in 2. Tanner Van Doren all sorts of sideways off turn 4 that time, as Donovan Ross gets by him for a spot. And now we're watching Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91. Williams started way back toward the back of the pack after making his way through the last chance qualifier as Trevor Grabeau gets up over the high side. Grabeau's going to drop all the way back to position number 11. Got that right rear over the edge, and that's just how easy it'll happen. I think Brad's going to try and get a peek of that here for you and show you the replay. Let's watch Grabeau. Oh, contact with Ernie Williams. That's what got Grabeau over the edge. So a great look there at that live replay. Great job, Brad Ovens in the 3-9 production studio. Giving you a look at that as now you watch Grabeau. Now you see Ernie Williams trying to make a move here on Keith Jackson. Couldn't make it happen, and now Jackson goes after Stephen Goldner. They're putting a lap on the 16 of Mike Schultz, who absolutely battled his way through the preliminary night last night and got in through the last chance qualifier tonight for the driver out of Naples. So Keith Jackson absolutely under fire, and he is now caught Flick in the 56, Lacey the 97. A 5-car battle for position number 2. And here comes Dave Flick. Boy, it looked like he got drafted off of turn 4 there by Jackson. Field works down the back straightaway. Flick is up to 2 and now trying to bring Jackson with him. Lacey's down on the bottom and he is spinning the tires. Lacey spun him hard coming off of turn number 4. He's going to drop 4 spots right there. As Williams now moves into position number 3, but Keith Jackson's not done with him yet. Williams puts the right rear on the edge of the guardrail going into turn number 1, and now they're almost 3 wide for the second spot. Flick down to the bottom. Williams up to the top side. Ernie Williams Jr.'s up to position number 2. They are cutting into the lead of Brandon Schultz. I believe that's riding on board with Schultz. And Williams is absolutely running him down. Oh, Williams got over the edge. Over the edge he goes. He's going to lose 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 spots. Bernie Williams Jr. No caution flag. We stay under green. I think Williams was looking for a yellow. It did not come. And that's going to shake up the field quite a bit. And Brad, I'm just going to say this out loud to myself. I have to wonder if maybe Brandon Schultz wasn't trying to save a little fuel. We've not had a yellow flag since that first yellow off the drop of the green. And I have a feeling, I know if I was in this race, I would have been planning for yellow flags. And you have to wonder, is the handle just going away for Schultz, or was he trying to save some fuel? David Flick has caught the back of Schultz, and he's going after him here for the lead. Steven Goldner's right there with him. We had a quick yellow right off the drop of the green about 2 laps in. We've gone green flag racing ever since. Williams is over the edge once again off of turn 2. We stay green. He's waiting for an opening to try and get back up onto the racing surface. So now Schultz goes to the outside lane. Jeff Fitzpatrick, and now the yellow comes out. Yellow lights are on. Yellow lights are on. One car, Jonathan Short, up there at the entrance of the pit lane. Wow, what a green flag run we've been on here. All right, here from the Lernerville Speedway. Yellow lights on for only the second time tonight. We're going to show you the replay here as Ernie Williams was battling for the lead, and right there got that right rear just over the edge, and that's just how easy it can happen here at Lernerville. And he's just losing spot after spot after spot as he's trying to get that car back onto the racing surface. Could not do it. 60 laps are on the board. They're coming down to the line to put 61 on the board. And that is going to give us 5 laps to go. Brandon Schultz. Was this the yellow flag that Schultz needed? David Flick running second. Steven Goldner running third. Brendan Lacey's back up to fourth. Keith Jackson, your top 5. Coming back to the green. We've got 3 laps remaining. Green lights are back on. Now make it 4 laps to go here at the green. So Brandon Schultz down the back straightaway. showing as your race leader. David Flick running in the 2 spot. Now he'll go to the outside lane in 3 and 4, trying to get a run on Schultz. Now Flick will take it down to the bottom. Battle for the race lead off turn number 2. Flick, can he get the grip? He's there on the back bumper going to turn number 3. Schultz leads Flick. Here, coming to the 2 to go signal. 2 laps to go for Brandon Schultz, trying to go 2 in a row. Here in the special events, here with the GForce Racing League. He won the 2019 King of the Wing Championship. Now he's trying to win the March Madness Championship. White flag presented by 3-9 Productions is in the air. Brandon Schultz down the back straightaway for the final time. The driver out of St. Paul, Minnesota, the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts 193, wins March Madness here at Lernerville. Second across the line is David Flick. Brennan Lacey brings it home third. Keith Jackson fourth. Trevor Grabeau will round out your top 5 finishers. Kyle Moonen, Justin Stoles, Jack Clevenger, Michael Redding, Jacob Zellner round out your top 10 finishers, and it's 2 in a row for Schultze. As he will celebrate here on the back straightaway. What an effort here for Brandon Schultz. What a long green flag run that was. In the middle portion of this race, you had an early caution and a late one, and that was it. What a performance here tonight. Brandon Schultz, the driver out of St. Paul, Minnesota, picks up the win here tonight in the March Madness 2020 event. We're going to go ahead and get right into talking to your top 3. And we're going to start it off here with Brennan Lacey driving car number 97. Brennan, you had a solid performance tonight. At one point, though, you were back to as far as 6th or 7th, I believe it was, and somehow got your way back up through the pack here to finish 3rd. Tell us about your run tonight.
Yeah, I started off strong there with teammate Schultz up front, and got there halfway through the race, and we got that long green flag, and I was cutting it close on fuel as is, so I was like, I have to go to the bottom and try and save a couple gallons here just to make it to the end. And that's when I looked up and saw a freight train above me. I was like, well, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I had to. And then got lucky enough to get back up there with Ernie went off the edge and opened it up, and then there on the back stretch, little contact opened up that 3rd spot for me, so I can't complain too much.
Kind of wondered if fuel was going to be a concern, because that was a long stretch of green flag laps there in the middle portion of the race.
Yeah, especially running up top, it burns a little bit more than on the bottom. So, but being the fast lane up there, you don't want to leave it, but you kind of have to in order to save for the rest of the race. So it makes it a little bit of a challenge, which is kind of.
Plus, you know, late in the event, you started picking your way up to 3rd. We saw Ernie get up over the edge there, but man, you guys were racing hard there on that last restart.
Yeah, the last restart always brings in, you kind of don't want to see it, but when it puts on a great show for the fans. I mean, we were good racing. Keith Jackson ran there behind me, and I thought he was going to get me, but lucky enough to come out on top.
Come out here in March Madness, you had a solid preliminary night that put you in the big show automatically. To come home with a top 3, what's this mean to you here tonight?
After a long season, it means a lot. Real fun getting to start up there on the front row with Schultz and putting a bunch of these Radine SRC cars up in the top 10 here.
And tell me about the folks that helped make it happen. I know you mentioned the team. It's such a big effort for everybody.
Yeah, it's a huge effort. Can't thank Scotty Edwards, Jesse Bandy, all those guys for the setups, and new sponsor putting Radine Racing on with us. That's a huge thing. Can't thank Donovan Ross and all them enough for helping. And a big shout out to putting 4 of our cars in the top 5 tonight with Keith, Trevor, and Brandon picking up the win, and Moonen and Fitzy, just everyone putting on a great
job here tonight.
Appreciate it.
All right, there's Brennan Lacey. He picks up 3rd spot here tonight in the March Madness event. Dave Flick comes home in position number 2. And Dave, you called it earlier tonight. You said Schulte was going to be tough to beat. But man, you were certainly giving it everything you had there at the end.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, he was just way too fast, and there, just the very end of that thing, I had a chance there when he went down to the middle, because my car doesn't really start coming on till the very end.
Definitely was there for you, but I was interested to see that, you know, the top was really kind of the dominant lane all night long tonight. I thought at some point the bottom might be where it was, you know, the place to be, but it just didn't seem that way.
Well, I'll tell you something. Like in 3 and 4, I run the top all night, and 1 and 2, I just run down the middle, and that's where I made up my time.
You know, cutting that short just a little bit to, you know, take the short way around.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference, especially an old man like me. I got to go the least amount in the distance as I can.
There you go. There you go, man. Well, I'll tell you, a solid effort for you here tonight. You had a strong run in the trophy dash and backed it up with a second place run here in the championship round. That's got to be pretty cool for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really appreciate Roger putting this thing on, and that Steve King Foundation. That's a really good thing to be donating to. So yeah, I need to thank my teammates too at UDSRA. They're a big help, and give me a lot of encouragement.
Congratulations to you, Dave, on a solid effort here tonight. Great job.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there's Dave Flick finishing second here tonight and making it 2 in a row here in these special events put on by the GForce Racing League. Another trophy coming home to St. Paul, Minnesota. Brandon Schulte, congratulations, man.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that was a fun one. I didn't expect for it to go that green for that long. I think a lot of cars were saving for a little while.
I was going to ask you about that. At one point, you had a 3.7-second advantage, and then there toward the end of that long green flag run, these guys were right on the tail tank. So that, you know, fuel had to be a concern tonight.
Oh yeah, I'd be lying if I wasn't, you know, if I didn't say I wasn't saving, because we were saving for a while, and I kept looking, like I saw, I think it was Flick or Goldner or somebody was like 1.1 back from me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then Lacey told me like they were catching me. I was like, oh, I better, you know, kind of get it moving. That was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was interesting that, you know, like you just said, they were about a second back, and then the next thing you know, I look up at the screen and they're right on the tail tank. I mean, those guys were coming in a hurry, but I still think that you got to show the strength of your car, because once they got there, you were able to stretch it back out just enough to get there toward the end.
Yeah, the car was so good right away where I could, you know, finally get that big lead, and I had to just thank Scotty and Jesse. They build some of the best sets, and I'm just glad we could put it in victory lane for those guys tonight.
I'm sure it's got to mean quite a bit to put it in victory lane after just getting Rudine Racing on board here. What a way to welcome them to the fold here with a win in the March Madness event.
Yeah, it's been an awesome deal. I really hope they like what we did here tonight. All the boys did good. I think we had 6 or 7 cars in the top 10, so a big shout out to all the guys on the team. They raced their butts off tonight, and couldn't really ask for a better show tonight.
It's about all the folks on that 193, man. It's a very, very beautiful race car that you guys got prepared.
Yeah, thank you. I just gotta thank all the boys and the SRC Rudine camp, Jesse Bandy, Scotty Edwards, Keith Jackson, Brennan Lacey, Kyle Moonen, Donovan Ross, Jack Clevenger, Trevor Graybow, Jeff Fitzpatrick. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few names as always. I got to thank all them, Rudine Racing, Bandy Built Race Cars, Supermoon Graphics for always making the car look good. It was an awesome deal to race tonight for the Steve King Foundation. That was really cool, and thank Roger for putting this on, and you guys for streaming it. It was an awesome race.
Absolutely. And speaking of Roger Craig, why don't we go ahead and bring him in here for the winner's presentation for March Madness 2020, benefiting the Steve King Foundation. Roger, take it away, my man.
Well, you did it again, buddy. Congratulations. The Dominator did it. Got a little tight near the end there on that caution, but your skills came through again. Great job.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for putting on such a killer show. That was an awesome race tonight.
Well, the drivers put on the awesome show because you guys were everybody from the front to the back put on a great show, and we were commenting just a few minutes ago about how we thought there'd be a lot more cautions than that, and it was starting to wonder if you guys might be running out of fuel near the end. And we were wondering about you, but do you have much left?
I think I finished. I got 3 gallons in the car, but I was saving for, quite a while. I'd try to look at that interval or ask Lacey how far he was behind. And then I kind of didn't look at it, and then Flick was on the back door beating it down, so I had to kind of get moving again, and Flick gave me a hell of a run. I got to credit him. He was quick tonight, and I honestly think if we would have had another 3 laps, he might have had something for us.
Roger, I think that just shows the strength of this league. You've got the young guys that like to put down the fast laps, and you've got an experienced guy, we'll say, in Dave Flick that comes out here and gives the young bucks a run for their money.
Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 guys older than me in this league, and he's one of them. And he makes all us old guys really proud. And Brandon, trophy will be on its way, put on the shelf beside the other one tomorrow. So great job again.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Hey, folks, there's Brandon Schultz, winner of tonight's March Madness 2020 event benefiting the Steve King Foundation. Congratulations to him and the Radine Racing Sim Racing Concepts team on a big win here tonight. Roger, any other final thoughts here?
I just want a big shout out to all the drivers that took part. It was a bit of a long week, and everybody hung in and did a great job. And it's such a great foundation. And Christy Finley, she was great to work with and very patient with us. So this won't be the last time we do this for Steve King Foundation. It's a great cause, and we're really proud to be associated with them. And also looking forward to this new relationship. This is the breakout tonight with the GForce Racing League, and you guys and your team and our team, we're looking forward to some great things coming up ahead. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having us on board.
It's always a pleasure. You guys are the best.
All right. Folks, that's going to do it for coverage here from the Lernerville Speedway here for the March Madness Championship round. Congratulations again to Brandon Schultz, winner of the 2020 edition, the very first March Madness Championship here for the GForce Racing League. Be sure to visit us on Facebook as well as our website, and you can also find us on GForce TV. That's where you'll be able to find all of the racing action here from the GForce Racing League. That's over at GForce TV. Go to youtube.com, search GForce TV. Click subscribe, click on the little bell so you get the notifications of when we go live and when we post new content. From the Lernerville Speedway, on behalf of our executive producer in the 3-9 Production Studios, Brad Ovens, my name is Steve Ovens, saying thank you for joining us, and we will see you again for more great iRacing dirt and asphalt action here on GForce TV. Good night, everybody.
Introducing GForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForce TV racing leagues. GForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForce TV.